Good morning and welcome back to Gaming with ADHD, where today we're continuing our deep dive into the Batman Gotham City Chronicles role-playing game. I'm your host, Brian, and I'm joined today by my lovely wife. If I can remember what side of the screen to point to, please introduce yourself, lovely wife.
I did that last time. What am I supposed to say? Peanut gallery.
Say hello. Good morning.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I can do that. I just I don't need to be given my life story. We got a freaking book to get through.
I wasn't meaning your life story. Sorry. You know what? I'm not used to streaming with other people all the time. So
Sure.
Cut me some slack.
Hello, internet. Let's do this thing.
Okay. Well, we'll give it a couple of minutes. Let people filter their way in.
Look, if I get hungry, this thing is over.
That's
rather hangry.
That's fair. So, all right. Well, then I guess in order to stave off the hangry pains,
the hangry wife. That's smart. That's scarier.
A couple of things today. So first off, today we are going to be talking about the ways. Ways are, I want to call them feats, but they're somewhat along the lines of essentially like they're the superpowers for your heroes.
Yeah, but you said that they don't have superpowers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be. Well, some of them are superpowers, like the Way of Wonders. Those are superpowers. Okay, it's like Clayface, things like that. But if you think about it, like so, Robin is not the same as Batman. Batman knows lots of martial arts, whereas Robin knows more acrobatics. Yeah. So again, it's the feats, it's the powers, it's the talents, it's the things that your hero makes your hero special as opposed to another hero. And so we're going to do that. And if we're able to get through it, we are going to talk about character advancement as well. Mostly because it does relate to the ways, because the ways actually have ways to, or have options to improve them as well. So that's what we're going to hopefully get through today. It's rather ambitious because it is a lot of pages of the book, but we are also going to skip a lot. So be aware, we're not going to cover every single one of the ways, but we will cover a nice fat chunk of them. Now, last thing before we get started, of course, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Kim and I are here every Tuesday, except for next Tuesday, as we're working through the Batman book. But of course, we are also I also do streams with basically the deep dives are rotating co-hosts. So next up, we are going to have my son Ethan, and we're going to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I've got rough ideas and plans down the road. I do other videos. I do Warhammer. I do miniature painting. There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on the channel. So absolutely make sure you're subscribed so you can come along and see what we have to share. All right. I think that's it. I mean, unless you can think of anything else we should chit chat about first.
I want a nap.
Okay, well, you don't get one. We have to read Batman. Oh, actually, real quick, I did mention it, but yes, next week there will not be a show. Kim and I will be in Ireland, and I don't think she's going to want to stream at midnight.
If your parents watched this, you would have totally ruined the surprise.
My parents don't watch this.
Yeah, that's true.
And at this point, it's less whatever. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Watch. Well, yeah, again, it's midnight. They're not watching this.
Not right now, not live.
Nope, not live. So, anyways, with all that said, yes, there is not going to be a stream next Tuesday. But we will be back the following Tuesday to pick up where we left off. So, all right, I've yammered long enough.
You usually do.
I usually do.
Or as they say, as one does.
As one does. Yeah, no, and oh, also real quick, folks, my other channel, Reading Wikis for You. Go check that out. That's one reason I haven't done my streams as much as I've needed to, because I was busy getting that ahead of the game before we left. So
Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right, here. There we go. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, I've pinned it in the chat. You could go check it out after we're done. All right. All right. Common ways and the ways of shadows. All right. Let's see here. Let's resize this a wee bit. There we go. All right. Presentation. Ways show a character's skill sets and are split into 5 levels of strength, showing the character's degree of expertise in that particular way. These ways then grant capacities, which offer the hero skills or new possibilities. One capacity may apply to several levels with different levels of strength. Each character has access to several ways when they are created, depending on their profile, and acquiring these must always be justified by the character's past, profile, or training. Over the course of the scenarios, the character can acquire other ways and capacities with their experience, and these must also be coherent with their background. All right, tests and capacities. Some capacities allow you to roll 2 dice during a test and keep the best result. If the test is performed using a characteristic that already benefits from an edge granting a similar bonus, the character not only rolls 2 dice, but may also choose to automatically get a 10 on the dice roll instead of rolling it. Number 2, during a test, the bonuses granted by capacities within the same way are not cumulative unless stated otherwise. However, bonuses granted by capacities from different ways are cumulative as long as their use during a test is justified by the player and the game master. So, simple answer. If you have 2 different ways that give you the same kind of a bonus, you've got to justify it to your GM as far as why you would get both bonuses and not just one. Let's see. Oh, I missed something here.
Yeah, on the bottom.
Oh, there's a pair. Yeah, I hate when they do that. All right. Capacities have different types depending on whether they require an action, are permanently active, are passive, etc. These types are indicated by a letter in parentheses following the name of the capacity. The differences between combat, free, and limited actions, for example, are explained in the section about the game system, which that's going to be in 2 weeks, I think. Sorry, I'm not going to jump back to the table of contents. All right. A, action. This capacity requires an action in order to be used. In combat, it replaces an attack or movement action. F, free. The capacity requires a free action in order to be activated. The character simply has to state they are using it. L, limited. The capacity requires an entire game round in order to be used, and the character cannot do anything else. M, movement. The capacity requires a movement action in order to be used. Or P, passive. The capacity does not need to be activated in order to be used. Depending on the circumstances, the game master can nevertheless decide that its use is incompatible with the situation the character is in. And non-applicable, the principle of activation does not apply to this capacity. All right, tell us about the list of ways.
In Batman, there are 5 different types of ways. Common ways. These are ordinary skills that the character has acquired during their past or their training. Superior common ways. These are only accessible after fulfilling the indicated prerequisites. Big old picture of the Joker. 3 ways of shadows. These are reserved for characters created in the shadows of Gotham City and Wonders of Gotham City modes. 4 the superior ways of shadows. These are only for characters created in Shadows of Gotham City and Wonders of Gotham City modes. These are also only accessible after fulfilling the indicated prerequisites. And 5 ways of wonders. These are exclusively for characters who naturally have superpowers. For example, heroes created in the Wonders of Gotham City mode, because there are so many of them and they have unique ways of functioning. A whole chapter is dedicated to the ways of wonders.
All right.
What are we reading?
So let's do like we did last time, where we'll just take like one of the ways per like page or 2 pages. Let me
It's
flip
not really
over
that long and extensive, so there's only like 5 way of the arts. So we can
Well, no,
do a
so
couple.
so way of the arts is the way. And then this is level 1, level
I
2,
was
level 3,
talking
level
I
4.
meant levels. I didn't use the word
Well,
levels, so you think I was trying to explain something different.
no. What I'm saying is what we're going to do is we're going to look at one of the ways per page. So like there's way of the arts, way of corporations, and way of danger. So we'll pick one of those.
Oh.
And then on the next page, they've got way of escape, way of inquiry, way of the jack of all trades. And we'll pick one of those.
We're skipping a lot then.
Correct. That's how we're going to get through 40-something pages today.
I know. It just seems like it would be fun to do one of each category, but what do I know?
Well, that's why I'm saying one of each. Well, because that way the players can see, or the viewers can see how a way or a power will evolve over time of the character. So that's why we'll look at all the different levels within that particular.
Got it. Okay. No, my brain finally caught up to what you were saying. I'm very tired.
It's okay. We're here. We'll figure it out. All right. So do you want to tell us about the way of the arts, the way of corporations, or the way of danger?
Let's do corporations.
Oh, you and your
Business,
corpo nonsense.
Numbers. It works for me. All right.
We're not giving you a spreadsheet.
There should be a level that says spreadsheet expert. Anyway, note, by acquiring this way, the player chooses the corporation or organization to which it applies. The Army, diplomatic services, the world of medicine, universities, the underworld, secret services, an arts scene, forces of law and order, nightlife, courts of justice, etc. Of course, this choice has to be coherent with the character's past profile and or occupation. Level 1 is corporatism. The character benefits from a +5 bonus on all tests of knowledge related to the chosen corporation and a +1 per level to willpower tests made with regards to the members of their corporation. Level 2, phone a friend. Once per day, the character may ask an acquaintance for help, such as for confidential information, occasional backup, etc. This favor is nonetheless subject to a difficulty 10 willpower test and if it is fairly routine, difficulty 15 if the favor request requires investing a large amount of time or money and is very risky, and difficult 20 if the favor could cause the person physical or psychological harm or send them to jail if caught. Level 3, 50-50. The character halves the costs and time necessary to access equipment and materials related to the chosen corporation, including if they are restricted, rare, or even illegal. Level 4, stroke of luck. Once per scenario, the character may surmount a difficulty thanks to an unexpected event that works in their favor. The stroke of luck does not, however, have to be credible, justified by the player.
Hold on.
It does. Okay,
Yeah.
it does, however, have to be credible, justified by the player, and approved by the GM. Level 5, big wig. The character has acquired a position of importance in their character or corporation. They benefit from a certain celebrity and exceptional contacts, and this increases their willpower and intelligence values by +2.
So, all right. So I this made me think of something which I don't really have an option to search for this real quick. But this does make me wonder if you can take this way more than once. Because you do have to pick where it applies to, but essentially this is working your way up the corporate ladder as you level it up. But especially in a Batman setting, I like how they do this. So level 1, you get a bonus if you're doing stuff related to the corporation. Number 2, you get to, it's a contact feat. That's, I mean, you know a guy, you know. Level 3, you get, cheaper equipment from the corporation. The stroke of luck is interesting because it doesn't seem very corporate related, but I guess you could make an argument that it has to come from the corporation. But then level 5, it's like, no, you are the executive. So
Well, I think with stroke of luck in business, there's the luck of getting awarded the job, or there's I mean, it's not necessarily luck. A lot of times it's just math. But I think there is some luck that you can associate with this theme. And I think it's probably primarily related to more of the criminal side of things.
sure,
And unless the um, stand-up type of corporations.
right.
Anyway, it does say nightlife in there, so I'm sure you're gonna need to be lucky when you go gambling or something.
Well, yeah, like so that would be like, if you say, well, in that case, it would be like for Underworld or like you said, nightlife. I would equate that to like the Penguin because he's always associated with like having a nightclub or a casino
Well,
kind of a thing.
and this stuff just screams Two-Face to me, really.
Well, I mean that's
And
courts
he
of
flips the
justice.
coin. Well, right, and he flips the coin, and
Well, I mean, flipping the coin wouldn't put him with corporatism, but like courts of
no,
justice,
with
forces of law,
the
order.
stroke of luck
Mm,
element.
that's
You
true.
you're either lucky or you're unlucky, and the consequences come with that.
True. All right. So way of inquiry, way of escape, or way of jack of all trades. I think I want to look at way of escape. All right. Level 1, sharp. F, which is so free action. Once per day, the character doubles their speed of movement for a number of rounds equal to the dexterity modifier. Okay. Level 2, contort. Oh, this is Robin. I think. That's how I would I would definitely say that this applies to Robin. Anyways, so level 2, contortionist. The character benefits from a +5 bonus for any attempts to escape being immobilized or for freeing themselves from anything restricting their movement, as long as this is possible thanks to the suppleness of their joints.
Catwoman too, bro.
That's true.
And didn't Batgirl do some acrobatics as well?
Well,
I
like
feel like
all of
all of the
them.
heroes have to like bounce around and escape and stuff, and even some of the bad guys.
Yeah, I was just kind of equating because the gymnast, like the
Right. Yeah,
gymnastics kind of thing.
no. I know that's a direct reference, but you can also apply it to several characters.
Oh, absolutely. All right, level 3, way out. When being chased, the character benefits from a +1 bonus for the dexterity test per level. Um, so would that be a plus? Oh, okay, yeah. So +1 bonus for their dexterity tests per level. So when you get this, it's automatically +3, but then it would go up to +4 and +5 as you increase it. Level 4 dodge. Once per combat, the character benefits from a +1 bonus to their defense for every level. They must state the use of this capacity before their opponent launches their attack. So, okay, again, starts at a 4 and goes up to 5. And then level 5, snake-like agility. The character's dexterity score is raised by 2 points, and this characteristic now benefits from an edge. So you're going to get to roll the 2d20 and pick your highest. So, all right. I'm like I said, I'm seeing Robin all over that. So I like all of those. This one, if you want a Batman type character as well, Batman, Batgirl, Catwoman absolutely fits any of those. All right. So Way of the Mechanic, Way of Medicine, and Way of the Melee. Which would you like?
Yeah, that's rough or tough. Let's do the Way of Medicine.
Kind of figured you would pick that one.
I was kind of leaning towards the mechanic, but anyway.
Medicine's like a biological mechanic.
Correct. Level 1, the first aider. The character can give medical treatment to a character in just a few minutes, which enables them to recuperate 1d6 HP and also benefit from a +5 bonus to all constitution tests. Level 2, doctor. The character knows how to diagnose injuries and illnesses. They benefit from a +2 bonus per level for all tests of medicine, biology, or anatomy. If they treat a wounded character before a period of rest, this allows the results of the hit points die used to be doubled. Level 3, surgeon. The character has been trained to perform major surgery in the field. By spending an hour at the bedside of an injured patient, the victim will not suffer the effects of a serious wound, provided that the character succeeds a dexterity test. Difficulty 15. If a new serious wound is sustained, it cannot be treated in the same way. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Sounds like you couldn't use your level 3 surgeon a second time.
Yeah. Okay.
The same character with a new wound.
Right. Well, it also kind of confused me because it said provided that the character succeeds a dexterity test. And I'm like, why would the wounded character have to take a dexterity test? But no, it's the surgeon that's making the dexterity test.
Yeah.
To operate on the other character. So yeah, and then yeah, because new serious. I mean, we'll have to see when we get to the section about playing the game and combat, because serious wounds is going to be a specific category. So I'd be curious how that works. Anyways, coming in a couple weeks, folks.
All right, level 3, surgical precision. The character knows all the vital points of the human anatomy. They benefit from a critical success in MA or RA with a result of 18 to 20 on the D20 and add +1 D6 to the critical damage obtained.
Ooh, that's brutal. So basically, it stretches out your critical range. So if you roll an 18, 19, or 20, you're doing critical damage, not just on 20.
So this is a offensive?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Basically, you're a doctor and you know where to hurt that guy.
Oh, okay. Got it. Level 15. Oh, fart.
Level 15. That's okay. The last one was level 3 again. So you said level 3. You said level 3 when you were reading level 4. I'm just making a joke.
All right. Well, I didn't know I said that. That's level 5, expert. The character is an experienced surgeon and benefits from +5 bonus for all tests of dexterity relative to manual precision. The character's intelligence score is raised by 2 points, and this characteristic now benefits from an edge.
Okay. So Yeah, so basically hit level 5 and this dexterity test essentially is difficulty 10 because you're getting a +5 bonus. Um yeah, okay. I like this. I think this one probably is. I'd be shocked if it's not applied to like Alfred. Because he's always having to patch up, Batman. Um, but yep, it is. Alfred's a level has ways of medicine at level 2. So there we go. All right. Oh, all right. So page 58. I'll let you guess which one I'm gonna do.
I don't even need to guess. I know which one you're doing.
All right. Way of piloting. Note, at the creation stage, the player chooses a category of light vehicle, not including vehicles like cargo ships, freighter planes, etc., to which the way applies from the following: car, truck, motorbike, light plane, small motorboat, and domestic sailboat.
I almost thought that said way of plotting. And I swear I don't have dyslexia, but
Way of plotting.
my eyeballs are tired.
Have you met me? I'm not really one who plots.
No, I know. So I did a double take and then the answer was there.
Interesting. Batman does not have the way of piloting. See, again, this is another one where I would look at it. It's like, can you take this more than once? Because you got the Batmobile and the Bat plane and the Bat helicopter and the Bat cycle and the
I wonder if a lot of
Bat
his
subway train.
vehicles have autopilot then.
I mean, they did in the cartoon,
Right.
so yeah. All right, let's see. Level 1, outstanding pilot. Character benefits from a +2 bonus per level for all piloting tests and for initiative tests when they are driving. Level 2, swerve. The character benefits from a +5 bonus for avoiding accidents. Additionally, their vehicle and its passengers benefit from a +2 defense bonus when they are the target of a ranged attack while aboard the vehicle in question. Level 3, versatile. The character chooses a new category of vehicle and benefits from all the bonuses and effects of the capacities in this way for vehicles in this new category. Okay. So this is how you would do, like, okay, so you could do cars, and then you could do like small airplanes or large, whatever, airplanes or helicopters or whatever. So it's good for 2 vehicles. All right, good. Level 4, in one piece. If there is an accident, the passengers of the vehicle being driven by the character only sustain half damage in what would usually be inflicted. Performing a successful dexterity test, difficulty 15 for a ground vehicle, 20 for an airborne or floating vehicle, means the vehicle is still usable after an accident. You know how to crash. I like that. And level 5, best of the best. The character rolls 2 dice and keeps the best result each time they perform a test while driving a vehicle. The character's dexterity score is raised by 2 points, and they are now capable of driving a third and final category of vehicle. So you get edge on all of your vehicle tests, dex score bonus of +2, and third vehicle. Okay, all right, never mind. You don't have to take this more than once. This is fantastic on its own. And that's straight up Batman, because you get the Batmobile, the Bat plane, and the Bat helicopter.
Wouldn't it be more like Adam West Batman? He like did everything, even like a bat copter.
That's what I said. I said the Bat copter.
Oh, did you? Oh, I wasn't really.
You were asleep. It's okay.
Hearing you. I am half asleep.
No, again, regardless, I like this one is super useful. Wow, I would take that and I would dump like all the capacity points into it. So, all right. Way of ranged weapons, way of science, or way of speech? Which one would you like?
I'm trying to be able to have a way of speaking. Give me a minute. Breathing.
Breathing is
Okay.
hard. All right, so way of speech then?
No, ranged
Oh,
weapons, of course. This is
range.
my favorite type of fighting. Far away, but effective. All right. In order to apply, these capacities require the use of a ranged weapon. No kidding.
Wait. So I can't use this with a knife?
I mean, I'm sure if you could throw daggers, but I don't know that you'd want to like a regular knife. You'd
Okay,
want
a
some
sword, maybe an
daggers.
axe.
Daggers. Daggers.
Got it. Okay,
I'm gonna throw daggers at you if you don't knock it off, bro.
that's fair. All right, keep going.
All right. Level 1, adjust. The character benefits from a +2 bonus of 4 RA on a target closer than or at the limit of the weapon's basic range. So close and far.
No. Like, um,
The
basically
limit
you
of
have
the
right,
range.
like you be up to whatever the basic range is. So if the basic range
Right. But
is
when
10.
that range would go outward, so it's the farthest it can be thrown. I'm not saying that they're gonna
Well, no,
keep
because there's
throwing past that range.
well, no, because there's so I'm projecting because we haven't read the chapter yet. But
All
so
right.
basic.
Well,
Well, hold on. Let me just explain. Basic range is going to be like, say, you know, from me 30 feet out. Okay, so 30 feet out is basic range. But like a gun can shoot farther than 30 feet. And
sure.
so then say normal or long range would be 100 feet or 300 feet. And so in this particular case, whatever this basic range is where you would get that +2 bonus. So, anything 10 feet or less is where you would get that bonus. Does that make sense?
No.
So, all right, let me try it again.
I'm just thinking of when you play Warhammer and you have those little circle plastic things that measure out how far, or like, that measure out how far away something can like hit something that's in its range. And so, from one end to the other, that's what I was thinking that meant.
No. Think about it again, going back to a gun. Say a gun can shoot 100 feet. Okay. But then the basic range is 30 feet. Okay.
That's
So
not how I'm reading that.
again, we haven't gotten to the combat
Okay, all
section.
right. I don't want to mansplain right now. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Uh Level 2, nice shot. The character is not subject to the penalties that usually apply when the line of sight is blocked or partially blocked, or when a target is involved in melee combat. Level 3, precision attack. When they perform a scoped RA action with a long gun, the character inflicts double damage and triple if they obtain a critical success. Level 4, fast attack. If they perform a limited action, the character may perform 2 RAs with 2 ranged weapons. The test for the second RA is made using 1d12 instead of 1d20, unless the character has the ambidextrous trait. Level 5, find the weak spot. The character may choose to use a 1d12 instead of a 1d20 for an RA test in order to add plus 2d6 to the DD for this RA.
Okay. Both of these I actually think are really interesting. The test for the second ranged attack is made using a D12 instead of a D20. Like I would have expected them to just say, okay, you do it at a disadvantage. But the fact that they're like, no, just make the same test, rolling for the same number, but use a 12-sided die instead of a 20. So obviously that's going to cut about a third of your results out, because the most you could roll is 12 instead of 20. Interesting way of doing, like giving you that penalty. And then the fact that they used it again for level 5. So it's like, okay, if you want to essentially add anywhere from 2 to 12 extra points of damage, roll a d12 instead of a d20. I have not seen a game do that before. I find, okay, that's actually really interesting. I definitely now I want to play this just to see how it works, because I like that idea. All right. Any other comments or questions?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. I want to look at the way of stealth. I mean, come on, it's Batman. All right, level 1, discretion. When trying to pass unnoticed, the character benefits from a +2 bonus per level for their dexterity tests. Level 2, sharpened senses. The character benefits from a +1 bonus for all perception tests. Level 3, sneak attack. When performing a melee attack against a surprised adversary, the character inflicts an extra 1d6 damage. Upon reaching level 5, this bonus becomes an extra 2d6 damage. Okay. Level 4, ambush. For a few minutes, and as long as the surroundings permit it, the character may hide all their companions in any outdoor setting. Provided that they do not move, the character and their companions are completely undetectable. If they attack, their enemies are surprised for the first round of combat. Okay. And level 5, heroic perception. The character's perception score is raised by 2 points. In addition, this characteristic now benefits from an edge. Okay, that's absolute Batman. The ambush one I think is cool because you can actually use that on everyone else in the party and not just on yourself. I wasn't expecting that. So that's actually cool. Any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise?
No.
Okay. All right, well then let's go to the superior common ways on the next page. Let's see. In the description of the capacities below, the term per level means the number of levels possessed in this way. Okay, which we've already been experiencing.
Right. I will read The Way of the Court of Owls.
Yes.
Prerequisite: possessing elements which, in the character's past, justify them belonging to the Court of Owls. Level 1 is Secret Society. The character benefits from a +5 bonus to all their dexterity tests made in order to hide, camouflage themselves, etc. Level 2, Gotham City is Ours. The character benefits from a +5 bonus for all willpower tests related to interacting with the city's authorities, administrative boards, and seats of power. At level 4, they may request aid from an acquaintance once per day. This favor is subject to a difficulty 10 test of willpower if it is an everyday favor, difficulty 15 if the favor requires a lot of effort, and a difficulty 20 if it is likely to put the person in danger. Level 3, talents. The character benefits from a +1 bonus for MA, RA, DEF, and initiative. Level 4, tactics. Using a limited action in order to devise a strategy allows the character to attempt an intelligence test, difficulty 15. If they receive a normal or critical fail, the strategy fails and the combat continues as normal. If the result is a normal or critical success, the next attack aimed at the character automatically fails, and the DD result for their next counterattack is doubled. If the attack fails, this bonus is lost. The character may now use the phone a friend capacity from the Way of Corporations. The character's dexterity score is raised by 2 points, and each test performed in order to pass unnoticed is made with an edge. And level 5, Lieutenant of the Court. Character raises the score of the 2 primary characteristics of their choice by 2 points.
Oof. That is...
Sounds beefy.
No kidding. Yeah, so do you know who the Court of Owls is?
Nope. I just like birds.
That's fair. Yeah, they were a secret society introduced in the New 52 era that basically like they're ancient secret society founders of Gotham kind of a thing. So um kind of like this is actually kind of brutal for these guys. The fact that you're getting like because you get 2 extra points on your dexterity, and then you're going to take 2 more attributes and raise those by 2 more points. That's a lot of stat increase, and relatively, like for a game that doesn't give you a whole lot of stat increases, that's going to be a lot because that's also giving you like that's an automatic +1 bonus to anything related to those characteristics. So anyways, I like how they did that. They wove in a lot of secret society, but also a lot of, hey, here's some cool abilities. All right, of course we have to do Way of the Detective. Prerequisite, reaching level 3 in the Way of Investigation, as well as level 3 in the Way of Danger or Psychology. So obviously you're going to have 2 more basic ways in order before you can even take this one. So level 1, on the lookout, the character benefits from a +1 bonus per level on their test of perception. They also have the sharpened senses capacity from the Way of Stealth. This bonus is doubled and tripled if they also have the discreet trait. Level 2, pick up a scent. Once per scenario, the character may find or isolate a credible lead. This allows them to automatically find a hidden clue, get a confession, or make a choice between a number of possible leads. This capacity may be used to find a person or piece of information. Level 3, intuition. During a conversation, the character may try to determine the emotional state of the person they are speaking to by performing a perception test against their willpower. The character benefits from a +5 bonus on this test if they have the psych test capacity from the Way of Psychology. If successful, the character knows if the target is lying to them directly or by omission. If this test fails, the character cannot use this capacity on the same target for 24 hours. Level 4, Tack and Trace. By spending 1 EP, and as long as the GM agrees, the character may obtain the information necessary for finding a minor non-playable character. Common thief, gangster, henchman, individual of low importance, etc. In 1d6 hours, they know the person's current location and the possible presence of allies or particular defenses. And level 5, superhuman insight. The character's perception score is raised by 2 points when they use their intuition capacity. This test is performed with an edge. For a Batman game, I would say that at least one character should have this. And all of it again is great, just as far as, like I like this one, the Tack and Trace, like where's Jimmy Two Toes, stuff like that. I think like that's I love how they're putting this together. All right.
All right. Conversely, don't I get to pick?
I was gonna list off which ones there were: the Way of the League of Assassins, the Way of the Protector, or the Way of the Strategist.
Yeah, well, I'm going with the Way of the League of Assassins.
I kind of figured, but I figured I would ask before I just zoom in.
Prerequisite, possessing elements which, in the character's past, justify them having trained with the League of Assassins. Level 1, special weapon. The character chooses a light weapon for melee combat, a saber, sword, dagger, etc., or ranged attacks, bow and arrow, crossbow, blowpipe, bolas,
shuriken.
Okay. I was gonna say shuriken.
Or if you're an 80s kids, it's a shuriken. Yeah.
Okay. For which they benefit from a +1 bonus per level, either in MA or RA, depending on the chosen weapon. But why would it be shuriken if you're an 80s person? Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
Because that's how I said it as a kid.
Oh, well. Not all of us were nerds
hey.
as for Batman. I was nerds for so many other
Oh,
things.
no, that's not a Batman thing. That's a ninja thing.
Right. That's true. Level 2, the art of the sensei, the practice of martial arts developed by the league by the league hardens the character's body's senses and will, increasing by 2 points the scores of 2 characteristics chosen from the following: strength, dexterity, perception, willpower. Level 3, hidden in the shadows. The character benefits from a +3 bonus per level for tests performed in order to disappear, hide, or move through the half light or darkness without being detected by their enemy. And level 4, lethal strike. When using the chosen weapon at level 1 of this way, the character benefits from a critical success for a result of 19 or 20. Additional, this attack inflicts the penalties of a serious wound for the entire duration of the following round. At level 5, the character benefits from a critical success with their special weapon for a result of 18, 19, or 20. And then level 5, Master of Hand-to-Hand Combat. The character's MA rolls are made with an edge. This capacity can no longer be used once the character has sustained a serious wound. And that's it.
All right, just a second. I'm trying something.
Is it because we have the bash of school noise in the background?
Nope. I've spent so much time in my chair that my back is starting to hurt. And so I'm going to use some of the tools that I have at my disposal. All right. Am I still coming through okay? All right. There we go.
I'm hearing fine.
All right. Oh, okay. That's what was throwing me off. They didn't format it properly because that's supposed to be bolded. All right. So yeah, so basically it's you get ninja powers.
Well, naturally. Somebody's got to have them.
That's true. That's very true. All right, let's see. All right, let's get to page 66 in the PDF. And let's start looking at the ways of shadows. All right.
No, that's 65. It starts in 65, by the way.
On the PDF, you type in 66.
Oh, no, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes PDFs are formatted so like the cover page, like the page that is the cover,
right, is page 1.
Well, no,
But
right,
it's not
like,
actually page in the book.
Right. Sometimes they'll put it as like page A, and then if you type in 1, then it'll jump to the actual page 1.
Anyways. All right, come on, Ways of Shadows, go.
Look, squirrels. All right, Ways of Shadows.
Mansplain.
4 ways of shadows, the ways of anarchy, crime, justice, and order, are linked to the ethics scores, but allow access to the superior ways of shadows. The ethics scores taken into account are those that the character possesses when they acquire the way, or the level of one of these ways. The variations in ethics scores after acquiring a way or a level have no effect on them. The 5 other ways of shadows, the ways of martial arts, invention, investigation, the target, and courage, have no prerequisites. Note, reaching the 5th level in a way of shadows, normal or superior, allows the modifier of any one primary characteristic to be raised by 3 points. In the description of the capacities below, the term per level means the number of levels possessed in this way. All right, let's... Oh, so they have everything mixed. Okay. All right, we'll do the same kind of approach.
Obviously.
Well, I thought they were going to have it split up so that they'd have anarchy, crime, justice, and order, and I was going to say maybe cover all of those, but then they mix it in with the others. So there's
a subcategory of the superior ways of shadows. So
right, which Yeah. Let's just keep up with the way we've been doing it. We'll just pick one from each page. So I'm going to pick the Way of Courage. Level 1, Tough Guy. The character benefits from a +5 bonus for all Constitution tests. The DD of their melee attack performed with natural weapons are 1d6 plus strength modifier, temporary or normal, as the character prefers. Level 2, Iron Will. The character benefits from a +5 bonus for all willpower tests aimed at resisting fear, intimidation, or psychological powers. Level 3, Veteran. The character benefits from a +1 bonus in initiative, in defense, and for their melee attack and ranged attack tests. This bonus becomes +2 at level 5. When they perform an MA with their natural weapons, they may use their dexterity mod instead of the strength mod. Level 4, Extraordinary. The player chooses 2 of their primary characteristics, which become characteristics with an edge. Level 5, Final Attack. After having performed 3 attacks of the same type, melee attack, ranged attack, or special attack against the same target, the character benefits from a +3 bonus and a damage dice bonus of +3d6 for their next attack. This capacity can be used once on each enemy. Interesting. So basically, like I punch you in the face 3 quick times, and then I come in with just one big roundhouse and knock you out. Okay. Actually, that's fun. That's just a fun addition. So, anyways, I like that one.
Even level 4 is pretty beefy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, being able, even though it's not necessarily increasing the score, the fact that it's automatically taking two attributes and giving them edge is nuts. So, real quick, Joe0408 says, "Greetings. You prefer Batman or Marvel Multiverse rule set? I find Batman to be easier to grasp." So I have the Marvel Multiverse, but I have not read it yet.
Who are you gonna do that with?
I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to just cover it on my own, or maybe a little bit down the road, maybe you and I should do that one.
I mean, we have matching shirts, or at least we did at one point.
That's true. You got me my Iron Man heavy metal shirt. So, maybe we'll schedule that for later this year. So,
well, I mean, so really we can't make the comparison until.
Yeah, I haven't really read the rules, but the thing is with Batman, the thing that I'm finding about it is it's essentially D&D 5th edition anyways. So, so far, I mean, if you can understand any D20 system, you can grab Batman. Even when we started the stream today, I was saying that the ways are sort of along the lines of feats anyways. So, it's very much in that Batman, or let me phrase that, in that D20 vein. So yeah, Batman is really, really easy to grasp. But I mean, they keep putting out books for Marvel, so there's something to it. There's the audience obviously appreciates it. So I don't know. I we'll see in a few months when we cover Marvel. All right. What do you think? Would you like to cover Way of Invention or Way of Investigation?
I will do Way of Investigation.
All right. Let's get
Since we covered Detective, I feel like this will just add some flavor to it.
I think you're right.
Level 1, Fine Tooth Comb. Yeah, I would like to take a fine tooth comb to your garage.
Hey.
What?
Gosh.
On a dumpster. A large dumpster.
Maybe some kerosene and a match.
No, because I don't want to burn the house down. I just want to get rid of your crap.
No, after it's in the dumpster.
No, because I don't want to have to pay for a dumpster.
Dumpster fire!
That's dumpster property damage. No.
Okay.
That costs money. So then I'd have to like anyway. The character benefits from a +5 bonus for all tests for searching for clues and halves the time necessary for this action. When they reach level 3, they benefit from an edge for tests using this capacity. Level 2, Sleuth. By spending 1 EP, and as long as the GM agrees, the character may obtain the information necessary for finding a minor non-playable character, a common thief, gangster, henchman, individual of low importance, etc., in 1d6 hours. They know the person's current location and the possible presence of allies or particular defenses. Level 3, asking the right questions. During a discussion, a perception test against the willpower of another person allows their emotional state to be determined, even if the person is trying to hide it. A successful test allows the hero to know whether the target is directly lying to them or lying by omission. If the test fails, the character cannot try to use this capacity on the same target for the next 24 hours. In addition to all their tests made during questioning benefit from a +1 bonus per level. Level 4. Nothing stays secret. The character becomes an expert in foiling the most ingenious plots and discovering the secrets of even the most cunning people they talk to. Once per game session, the character may spend 2 EP during a scene in order to obtain, by deduction or observation, some information that would otherwise have been remained hidden. Level 5, Investigative Genius, aka Sherlock. When they
Oh,
obtain this
Batman.
capacity, I know that. I'm just being silly. The character immediately increases their intelligence and perception scores by 2 points.
So this was actually kind of interesting because it actually repeated the detective stuff. For nothing stays secret is essentially intuition, and the asking the right questions is track and trace, but they're flipped. But asking the right questions is also passive instead of requiring some sort of an action. And nothing stays secret is essentially a long action, or limited instead of passive. Anyway, okay. Really interesting that they're a little disappointed that they essentially duplicated the ability.
Well, it makes me wonder if you should read The Way of Martial Arts to see how it compares to what we already read previously with the whatever ways of something or others.
The way of
Was
the
it
League of was it the way of the League of
Assassins?
Assassins?
Yes, the Assassins League.
Okay, let's do that then. But yeah, regardless, way of detective and way of investigation, almost exactly the same. Let's see, way of martial arts.
Well, it's almost like they're related.
That's true, but
I
again,
mean,
it's just kind of interesting because, I mean, obviously it gives you options where, okay, if I didn't take detective, but then I'm going to take investigation later. So, there's
well, I mean, if you think about what the character in the TV series Psych, he wasn't really an investigator, but he had some mad skills.
I mean, he wasn't a detective, but yeah.
Right. That's what I meant. Yeah, he wasn't a detective, but he had the ways of investigation.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I can see it being used to approach those same abilities in a different way. It was just kind of weird, essentially seeing the same skills, because they also do it with that investigative genius. That gives you this, essentially that gives you the same ability as that. So I'm not sure why you would take this as a superior way instead of just taking the detective. I'd have to study that some more. But anyways, regardless. All right, let's look at way of martial arts. All right, level 1, the art of combat. The character benefits from a +1 bonus to their defense, as well as a +1 bonus to their melee attack rolls. At level 3, the defense bonus rises to +2, and the opponent's melee attack tests receive a critical fail if the d20 result is 1 or 2. Level 2, Iron Fist. Okay, so this actually is pretty different because essentially this is hand-to-hand combat. So no swords, no bows and arrows, just bare knuckles or glove knuckles, whatever. All right, level 2, Iron Fist. Any melee attack requiring the use of natural weapons inflicts 1d6 damage dice, temporary or not. At level 3, the damage dice rise to 1d8. At level 5, the damage dice to 1d10. Let's see. Oh, man. They keep doing some of this just weird formatting. I almost skipped this thinking it was an example. All right, level 3, dodge a projectile. If they can see their attacker, the character may, only once per round of combat, parry or catch a slow projectile that has been thrown during a range attack for which they are the target. So you can catch the knife being thrown at your face. This action is performed in reaction to a successful range attack made by the opponent. It requires a successful test of dexterity with a difficulty equal to the score achieved by the opponent for their attack. This test of dexterity benefits from a +1 bonus per level. If the test is successful, the projectile is knocked away or even grabbed, and the character sustains no damage. If the test fails, the range attack inflicts the damage dice as normal. I like this. I like the fact that this actually kind of pulls from Palladium. With this dodge. Because to dodge their attack, you have to roll better than their attack roll. I think that's nice. That's intuitive. But fun to see that's getting used in more places. All right, level 4, rain down blows. Instead of performing their normal attack, the character may choose to direct several melee attacks at a single target. With one attack per level, each melee attack test is made with a d12, and each successful roll inflicts damage reduced by half. Okay, so we're seeing that d12 dice instead of the d20, which then actually annoys me a bit more with the actual dice that they included in the game, and that they give you 2d8 and not 2d12. Anyway, all right. Yeah, my own personal nitpicks. All right. Level 5, healthy body, healthy mind. The character increases the scores of 2 of the following characteristics by 2 points: strength, dexterity, constitution, and willpower. All right. Again, it's hand-to-hand combat. I like it. So, all right. What would you like to look
Well,
at?
we're moving on to the superior ways of shadows, basically.
Okay. So would you like the way of the agent of chaos, way of commander, way of the criminal genius?
Let's do the criminal genius. The
Setting your
prerequisite.
aspirations, huh?
Well, yeah. Duh. Having reached level 5 of the way of crime is the prerequisite. To acquire a level in this way, the character must have a crime score at least equal to the desired level. All right, level 1, horrific discovery. The character gains the level 1 capacity of the way of invention. At level 3, they gain the level 2 capacity of the way of the visionary. Level 2, aim true. The character may use the finding the weak spot capacity from the way of ranged weapons. If they already have that capacity, they are unaffected by the D12 penalty and use a D20 for their attack test. Boom, shakalaka. All right, level 3, incredible feat. Once per game session, the character may regain 1 EP for free. At level 5, they may regain 2 EP for free instead. Level 4, Dark Curse. At the start of a combat round, the character chooses an opponent. Until the start of the next round, that opponent performs their attack tests with 1d12. And level 5, Master of Evil. The character's intelligence, perception, and willpower scores are raised by 2 points. Your mic is off, dear.
All right, there we go. Sorry. Sorry, I was trying to adjust the microphone so that, it would be closer to my face. Okay, so yeah, this is actually really interesting. Essentially getting a lot of ways to, to mess with the heroes. The fact that, the Dark Curse, the Master of Evil, the horrific discovery, horrific discovery, the Scarecrow's fear gas, or what else? I don't know. There could be some fun with that. Anyways, okay, that's cool.
Well, if you think about the first Batman movie, the Joker found all those toxins and mixed everything together in the different beauty products. And if you did like three different beauty products on yourself, you would end up poisoning yourself and dying.
Yeah, no, that's another great point. I mean, the funny thing is, I don't always look at the Joker as a criminal genius because he's insane. But no, that's another great point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like genius in a, good way. A chaotic genius, if you will.
That's true. All right, let's see here. Actually, what was it? So real quick, the level 2 of the Way of the Visionary, since it's right here. Okay, temporary improvement. The character may give the damage dice of a weapon +1 bonus or +2 level to the defense of their armor. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna look at, for the last one of the Superior Way of Shadows. We have to look at the Way of the Vigilante.
I was gonna say, the choices are clear. So,
Yeah.
if you were to say something, I was gonna check you.
Yeah. and that's why I have you here, dear. I appreciate it. All right. Prerequisite. Having reached level 5 in the Way of Justice, to acquire a level in this way, the character must have a justice score at least equal to the desired level. Oh, okay. So you have to have justice. Wait. Oh, no. Okay. So the justice score, for the, oh crap, what do they call it? The alignment system that they've got for this. You remember what it's called? No? All right.
Friendship is magic?
The wrong game, dear.
I don't know.
No, I know. Ethics. The ethics. So your
Hmm.
justice ethic has to be at least level 5 in.
What do they call that in My Little Pony, though? It wasn't ethics. It was, and it wasn't your cutie mark, I don't think. It had something
No,
to
you
do
don't.
with those, like, 5 powers that were
No, but
when you
those
combined
were
them.
more like classes as opposed to ethics. Like I said, is more like an alignment system. So neutral good or
No.
chaotic evil. But My Little Pony didn't really have an ethics system.
It kind of does because of those, like, 5 different, like, gemstone things, and those were characteristics, and they were more like
Right, but
adjectives.
yeah, but they're technically, like I said, they're like character classes because picking
Wouldn't
the
classes be like Pegasi and,
no, those
regular
would be
pony?
races.
Yeah.
So human, dwarf, elf, etc.
Okay.
So I know what you're talking about, and I can see where the confusion is coming in, but for that, no, those are more like, yeah, All right.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay, level 1, heroic perception. The character's perception score is raised by 2 points. In addition, this characteristic now benefits from an edge. Wow, right away getting edge on that. Okay. Superhuman level 2, superhuman block. Once per combat round, as long as they are aware of being attacked, the character may try to dodge an attack intended to cause them to take damage. They perform a test of dexterity with a difficulty equal to the attack score. The test benefits from a +3 bonus, increased to +5 when the character has reached level 5. If successful, the attack has no effect. If it fails, the results apply as normal. Level 3, Hand of Steel. The character benefits from a +5 bonus to the melee attack damage dice when using natural weapons. Oof. All right. Blatant superiority. Following a successful attack on a level 4 or lower opponent, the latter has to perform a successful constitution test or lose consciousness. In addition, the character doubles the damage inflicted on hordes of level 5 or lower in the case of a successful attack. So this essentially is letting you get like one hit knockout. If your opponent's level 4 and you punch him in the face, chances are lights out right away. All right. Level 5, Worthy of the Dark Knight. The character's strength, dexterity, and constitution scores are raised by 2 points. I want to be a vigilante. Like, that's straight up how you get Batman. All right, those are cool. I like the way they're doing that. I like the level system. Obviously, it would take time to build it up, but that's fun. I like it. And then I don't know which Bat character this is. I literally cannot tell you. I mean, he's got a bat. Is it Bat Flash? Is Bat Flash even a thing?
It seems like it would be. But, like, I don't understand all the skulls floating around. Maybe that's the bad guy? There's a big old skull behind him,
No,
too.
I don't think he'd be a bad guy.
Well, and it looks like there's, like, little lightning bolts on each side of his ears, so that does look like a flash symbol on the sides of his head.
Yeah. I have
So
just never heard of
Flash, Flat
Bat
Bash,
Flash.
Bat, Flash Bat. Sounds like Flash Bang. Anyway.
Which, unfortunately, the only result I'm finding of it on a Google search is the shipping wiki.
I wonder if there's an index or table of contents, and it could, tell you what the art was from and what they were portraying.
Oh, nope, I found it. That's Red Death.
Oh, well, that explains the
The
skulls.
Red Death is a villainous version of Batman from Earth -52 in the DC universe. He's a member of the Dark Knights, a group of vigilantes from the Dark Multiverse, whose goal is to assist the deity Barbatos to plunge the central DC multiverse into darkness.
So bad guy.
Apparently a bad guy.
And maybe that's why he is the main picture before the Ways of Wonders, because it's super villain.
Well, but technically it's like in the printed book, it's actually like just at the end of the Ways of Shadows. The Ways of Wonders starts on the next, like, flip the page.
Well, I don't know what that would be part of then.
I think they're just sticking in cool Batman art.
Okay.
Which, let's be honest, that's some cool Batman art.
It is some cool Batman art. Yeah, but
anyway. All right, tell us how the Ways of Wonders work.
All right. The Ways of Wonders represent extraordinary and supernatural capacities whose origins, mystical, genetic, scientific, extraterrestrial, or other, must be determined by the player and game master. These ways are bound by special rules and are aimed at offering a vast range of powers and levels of strength. This list is not exhaustive and is voluntarily limited in order to correspond with most of the characters that haunt the streets of Gotham City. As here, apart from a few rare cases, superpowers are less spectacular, dangerous, and varied than in Metropolis or Central City. Nevertheless, with around 30 ways of wonders with 5 capacities each, the choice is large enough to allow many types to be included. What's Central City part of what
Central
universe?
City, I think, is
The
the
Flash?
is no, I think that's Green.
Is that Green
I
Lantern?
want to say Green Lantern, but
No, I'm thinking of Flash though.
nope, it's the Flash.
Woo! I'm a winner, and I don't even watch the show. Winner, winner! I get a chicken dinner. Let's hurry up
All
so I
right,
can get chicken dinner, bro.
keep going.
All right. How the ways of wonders work. Characteristics and capacities. Each way of wonders is dependent on a characteristic whose mod, unless otherwise indicated, is used for all tests and SA related in the way. As for all the ways of wonders each offer 5 capacities, but unlike the other ways, each capacity acquired in a way of wonders, including the obligatory capacity and augmented power capacity, gives 1 extra point to the characteristic related to the way. Unlike the other ways, the capacities of each way of wonders doesn't need to be acquired in a specific order, except for the first capacity known as the obligatory capacity. Once this obligatory capacity has been acquired, a character may acquire capacities in any order they want. It should be noted that, contrary to common ways and the ways of shadows, the ways of wonders do not offer any extra knowledge or skills in a domain that would add bonuses for tests related to the way. The levels of the ways of wonder. Like the common ways, the ways of wonders also have levels, and a level acquired in a way contributes to all the bonuses, and that depend on the number of levels reached in the way. However, unlike the other ways where the levels represent a capacity and a level of strength, the levels of the ways of wonders may be purchased independently of a capacity. 2 capacity points can be used to buy either an extra capacity or 1 level, or 2 extra characteristic points, or an augmented power capacity, and 1 extra characteristic points. Note that, like for common ways and the ways of shadows, the numbers of levels acquired in a way cannot exceed the character's level experience. Augmented power capacities. When the character possesses at least 5 levels in a way, bought separately or with capacities, they can buy an augmented power capacity, which represents a stronger version of that capacity, just like when you purchase a normal capacity in ways of or way of wonders. Acquiring an APC raises the score of the primary characteristic by 1 point. Acquiring an APC does not grant any additional level to the way on which it depends. Did you want to do any elaboration mansplaining? Because that was a lot of words.
Okay, so what are you confused on?
I don't even want to. I don't want to know.
You don't want to.
That was a lot of words.
So,
Capacity words with capacity in it.
so remember, capacities essentially are the levels of the ways. All right.
Sure.
So in this particular case, go back up to the levels of the ways of wonder. And so you can buy anything in any order. So for spending 2 capacity points, you can either get an extra capacity at level 1 and 1 characteristic point, or 1 level. So
Brian, just don't explain it. My brain can't handle it right now. Let's just move on.
okay, fair enough. All right.
Do you want me to continue?
Concentration.
Okay, concentration, which is what I'm lacking right now. Along with the existing capacity types for the common ways, there's a new type for the ways of wonders. Concentration. When a character uses a capacity with this keyword, loses HP, they must perform a constitution test with a difficulty equal to the number of HP lost. If they fail, the power immediately ceases to function. Melee and ranged. Attacks made using the capacity of a Way of Wonders are special attacks. They are considered by default to be MA and are therefore governed by those rules. However, if a range is indicated, the SA is considered an RA and is governed by RA rules. The same goes for the rare cases in which special attacks is said to have an area. In this case, it is considered an area attack. Ways of Wonders related to strength. In the description of the capacities below, the term per level means the number of levels processed or possessed in this way.
All right, let's do this because it looks like there's ways of wonder related to each attribute. So strength, dexterity, constitution. Let's just do, in the interest of time and feeding you, let's just do one from each. So
I'm less hungry than I am tired.
I know. It was funnier to say it that way, though.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll take the first one. So should we do way of air, way of animal, way of earth, way of the fist, or way of gravity?
I think you probably would more appreciate the way of the fist, Mr. Batman.
All right, we will.
Anyway.
But what?
Nothing. Just do what you want, bro.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to not take your advice. And we're going to look at, instead of way of the fist, we're going to look at the way of gravity. Because this is how you can do Superman. All right.
Wait, you can cross your universes?
Well, it's the same universe.
That's true.
Okay. So, way of gravity, lighter, passive skill, obligatory capacity. The character can make inanimate objects less heavy, and this gives them a +1 bonus per level for tests of strength aimed at lifting something. At level 3, the character may use a free action to make themselves less heavy, so as not to be subject to the damage dice of a fall. By spending movement action, they may also make something located less than 60 feet away less heavy, so that it is not subject to the damage dice of a fall. All right. APC. What did APC stand for again? That was that augmented power capacities. When the character possesses at least 5 levels in a way, they can buy an augmented power capacity, which represents a stronger version. Okay. So the augmented power capacity for this, the character obtains a +2 bonus per level to their test of strength and can make a number of things equal to their strength modifier lighter if they're less than 60 feet or 60 feet meters away. This PDF is edited horribly.
Yeah, I was going to say, that does not math.
Right. Well, up here, they already said 60 feet, so we're just going to stick with 60 feet. It's not 60 meters, folks. That's 180 feet. All right. Heavy strike. During a round of combat, the character may increase the force of any strikes they make and add 1d8 to the melee attack damage dice. APC, the damage dice becomes +1d10. Pressure. Limited. This power allows gravity to be increased within a restricted area. After a successful special attack test, the character inflicts 1d8 damage dice per level to a target located less than 60 feet away and pushes their opponent back 10 feet per level. The target must perform a strength test in order not to be pushed back and possibly knocked over. These damage dice affect structures as normal. APC, the damage dice becomes +1d10 per level, and the difficulty of strength test for the target becomes 20. Reinforcement. Passive. The character affects gravity unconsciously and reduces the impact of hits. Their weight doubles, and their defense benefits from a +1 bonus per level. APC, the character benefits from damage reduction 5. And finally, reversed gravity. The character reverses gravity in a 30-foot radius around them. Apart from the character, everything inside this zone rises 20 feet into the air before falling and receiving 46 damage for a fall. Or less if a ceiling or obstacle has blocked them from rising. See the section about fall damage in the chapter entitled Madness and Danger. In addition, the character may use this power on themselves and rise up to 40 feet. APC, the character increases the speed at which the targets of reverse gravity fall and the damage inflicted becomes 4d10. Let's see, just making sure. Okay. I like all of these. It's not just like, oh, hey, here's how your character can fly. It's gravity manipulation. It's using gravity to your advantage. I know there are characters that do that. I just don't know any of them off the top of my head. But it is always a fun way to deal with that, as opposed to just, hey, look, it's Superman and he flies. Why? Yeah, because he does. So anyways, I like how they approach this one. Any thoughts from the sleepy one?
No, but I've already picked the Ways of Wonders related to Constitution.
All right, what are we looking at?
Topic. I think it's perfect. It's on PDF page 79.
Okay.
You ready? The Way of the Tiny. Had a feeling you like
that. Yeah, then you know exactly why I'm laughing. And let's see. Real quick. Thank you for the comments. I find the way cards to speed up play in a huge way, pun intended. Ha, nice one, Joe. I ported the same for Marvel powers working smoothly now. Oh, that's cool. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, I meant to show you last week, dear, that they actually include cards with the set for Batman that I've got, so that when you pick your ways, it's like, okay, cool. Just have the card, and then you can just have it right in front of you so you know what they do. So,
sure.
Nice little addition there. All right.
But it still has lots of words that I'm just like, what?
But that's why I'm here to mansplain them to you.
Yeah, I'm going to need some more caffeine for that.
All right. Tell us about the Way of the Tiny.
Small fry. To avoid their enemies' attacks, the character can reduce their size, but not their clothes or the objects they're carrying. Well, that's unfortunate. Until they are around 2 to 3 inches high. They remain shrunk for a number of rounds equal to their Constitution mod +1 per level, but can return to normal size before if they so wish. The character retains all of their characteristics apart from their strength and the deity of their natural weapons, which are reduced to 0. Their weight, which becomes just a few ounces, and their speed reduced to 20 inches per movement action. However, they benefit from a +5 bonus to their DEF against MA and +10 against RA, although these bonuses do not apply to area weapon attacks such as grenades, well, obviously. They also benefit from a +10 bonus to dexterity tests aimed at allowing the character to pass unseen. The adapted version is discretion tests benefit from a bonus of +15. The character retains their strength and the deity of their natural weapons. Oh, augmented. Okay, that's the word. Right. You ready for me to do the next one? Or were you going to say something there?
I think that discretion is discretion test? I think that's supposed to be dexterity. No, I think it's supposed to be dexterity tests. Because you have a +10 bonus to dexterity tests.
I don't know. Obviously, they didn't pay their editor enough.
Clearly, because that's also broken in the actual book. Anyways, all right. Very disappointing. All right.
Anyway, reducer. The character is automatically able to shrink anything in contact with them to their size. Clothes, objects being carried, etc. Well, they just said that if you shrunk, you're going to be nude because your clothes don't go with you. But I guess if it's on them,
there is no reason to not take this at the exact same time.
Right. So whatever. Objects being carried, etc. They can only affect a maximum of their dexterity value in kilograms. A limited action also allows them to shrink a consenting living being for 1 round per level, as long as the character remains at their usual size. That doesn't make any sense.
So the player with this ability can shrink someone else.
Oh, they would have to stay their size. Okay.
Correct.
Objects returning to their normal size when no longer in contact with the character. The augmented thing is the character can shrink one living being by spending a movement action. Okay.
Yeah, because originally it's either I forget what G is, but either limited or now I need
to. Don't worry about it.
L is limited. C. I don't. Concentration is the C. I don't know what the G is.
Great. Just move over.
Cool.
That's 3. Yeah. Okay. Light. The character can reduce their weight so they no longer suffer from falls. They are no longer affected by the DD. The augmented version, augmented, not augmentated. That's not even a word. With one limited action, the character can increase their density for a duration of 1 round per level, during which MA performed with their natural weapons inflict 1d6 DD per level. The blink of an eye, changes in size and weight no longer require the character to make a limited action, so they can now change in the blink of an eye with a free action. Augmented, the character may perform this action twice per round of combat.
So you can shrink, get behind someone because they can't see you, and pop up behind them full size. Whoa!
Rawr. Minuscule, the character can reduce their size until they are practically invisible to the naked eye. It's called a germ. For a number of rounds equal to their constitution modifier +1 per level. Their dexterity tests for passing unseen are automatically successful unless they receive a critical fail. But their strength and the DD of their natural weapons are reduced to 0 naturally, while their speed is reduced to 3 inches per movement action. However, they benefit from a +10 bonus to their def against MA, as long as their assailant can see them, and can no longer be the target of an RA except for area weapons such as grenades, etc. Augmented, once activated, the capacity lasts a number of rounds equal to their constitution modifier +1 per level, plus the character's level of experience.
All right. Any
now
comments?
You see me, now you don't. And hopefully you don't accidentally swallow me, so that we have an episode of with inner space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have an inner space moment.
No,
find the baby in Meg Ryan.
You get injected for that one.
Yes, that's true.
Well,
wasn't there a sneeze involved with it?
No, there was a sneeze, because that's how he got out of Martin Short at the end, was that right. Martin Short sneezed, and then they took the spit with him in it.
Anyways, good.
Don't ask me why I remember all of that.
All right. I mean, that's pretty specific for a movie I haven't seen in a long time.
All right.
Probably haven't seen in a long time.
Ways of wonder related to dexterity. Let's see. Wait, kind of
we
obvious.
Just do that? Oh no. That yeah. Okay, that other one was Constitution.
Right. Way of acrobatics.
What are you gonna do?
Way of acrobatics.
Are you sure you want to do that? I'm just making stuff.
I mean, it's acrobatics, speed, restriction.
There is a way of teleportation.
What is the way of deflagration?
But I don't know. You could read it.
Oh, you can shoot laser beams from your eyes.
Oh, so Cyclops.
Well, so it says pick a type of energy: plasma, fire, ice, electricity, laser, etc.
Or Iceman.
Right. They may perform a special attack, allowing them to project this beam of energy. So yeah,
You're only allowed to read that if you can say laser.
laser.
Laser,
My
like
3D
Austin.
laser.
Yeah. Well, like in Austin Powers.
All right. No, I want to do acrobatics because Robin.
Okay.
All right. Superhuman agility. Not applicable as far as action types and obligatory capacity. The character benefits from a +2 bonus to their melee attack, defense, and initiative scores. They benefit from a +5 bonus for all tests for acrobatics, climbing, jumping, running, balancing, and dodging. APC, the melee attack, defense, and initiative score bonuses become +1 per level, and tests for acrobatics, climbing, jumping, etc. are made with a +10 bonus. Agile dodge. Once per round, the character may replace their defense score with the result of a dexterity test. In addition, when the character is knocked over, they may immediately get back up with a free action. APC, the dexterity test performed to activate Agile Dodge, benefits from a +1 bonus per level. Okay. Actually, yeah, getting that APC, that because the problem here, like I like that ability, but it's like, what if you roll a 3? Ugh. Well, now my defense score sucks and I'm gonna get hit. But I like this being able to add the +1 bonus per level. All right, on the walls. During combat, the character can do their movement actions on a vertical, slippery, or sloping surface without having to make a successful dexterity test. APC, using the on the walls capacity, gives
Spider-Man.
yes.
Does whatever a spider can.
Using the on the walls capacity gives a bonus of +5 to the character's defense score until the end of the combat round. Quick and agile. Once per round, the character may perform an extra movement action. This action is made at their initiative score -10. So, yeah, so get a second movement. Cool. APC, the action is made at the character's initiative -5. Acrobatic attack. During combat, the character may replace their melee attack test with a dexterity test performed against the opponent's dexterity. If successful, the character inflicts on their opponent the damage dice that correspond to the weapon used, which is added +1d6. APC, the test for the acrobatic attack, benefits from a +1 bonus per level, and the DD of the MA becomes +1d8. All right, again, Robin, I like it. I know we had the Way of Shadow that was kind of similar, but this is like if you want a Robin or Nightwing kind of character, absolutely would recommend you take that. All right. All right. What are we looking at for the Way of Intelligence?
Not me. Let's see. I was kind of trying to figure it out, but I don't know. Let's do some cancel culture. Way of cancellation. The character cannot cancel a capacity for a way for which the opponent possesses more levels than the character has in the way of cancellation. No powers. By concentrating, the character can stop any capacity from a Way of Wonders being used, except for no powers, for a whole round in an area centered on them with a diameter equal to 15 feet per level. APC, once activated, the no powers capacity functions for 1 round per level as long as the character performs a successful constitution test, difficulty 15, on their turn as dictated by their initiative score as a free action. If they fail, this capacity ceases to function. Countermeasure. Each time an opponent makes an SA against them, the character may perform an SA test against the result of the opponent's SA. If successful, the opponent's SA has no effect. Augmented, the character, oh my gosh, augmentation, whatever. APC, the character benefits from a +1 bonus per level for their special attack test performed as part of this capacity. All right. Opening. During combat, the character can briefly halt the effects of the no powers capacity in order to allow their allies to use the capacity from a Way of Wonders. APC, using no powers requires using an attack action rather than a limited action. Discriminating zone. The character can modify to the no powers capacity so they or one of their allies can use a number of Ways of Wonders equal to the number of levels they possess in the Way of Cancellation. APC, the number of powers can be used is equal to 1 per level plus Constitution modifier. Immunity. As long as the character performs a successful Constitution test, they cannot be affected by any capacity of a Way of Wonders aimed at them directly. APC, the character benefits from a +1 bonus per level for the Constitution tests made for the immunity capacity. That was a whole lot of nothing burger. I don't know what I just read.
Essentially, you're shutting down everyone else's powers.
Okay.
So like this can actually be like super strong depending on how it's used. But yeah, they've got some great abilities here.
What kind of character is that though? Like applicable to a universe already in existence?
It's not quite the same, but I would say something similar to like Rogue, where she can absorb powers, because when she absorbs it from another,
They can't use it.
Right, they can't use it for
Or
a
they're
period of
passed out,
time.
one of the two. Or dead.
Right. Yeah, correct. So something along those lines. Basically, you're creating essentially a negative energy field where the superpowers don't work.
My brain was thinking of also an X-Men character, was thinking of Professor X and like how he can just kind of make a bubble around him and like a shielding kind of thing.
So that would be telekinetics.
Sure, and that's in this list, I think.
But I want to say that like he's probably exhibited powers at some point where he can like use his psychic powers to shut off a mutant ability or something.
I know this is supposed to be DC, but it seems to have a lot of the other comic.
Oh, there's
characters.
there's no unique powers across.
Okay, I was just like, okay, is there some licensing issues here? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
All
right.
They may try to claim some, or maybe they would claim. Well, they're not going to do it anymore. But, like, okay, because gaming with ADHD. I mean, this is what we do. But like Captain Marvel, he's a different character. He has a different origin. He has a different story. But essentially, because he sort of looks like Superman, big beefy guy, cape, DC said, oh, he's infringing on our Superman character, even though they're completely different characters. Sure. And managed to, essentially steal the copyright for Captain Marvel. And then eventually they're just like, we're going to use this character too. So,
that's rude.
Oh, yeah, like super shady, 8 Ways from Sunday.
Right.
But like nowadays, there's all sorts of Superman variants. Just like big, strong character, shoots laser beams, all that kind of stuff. But nobody complains because they all know that they really have no leg to stand on. But anyways, that's a separate issue.
Speaking of perception, why don't you talk about the Ways of Wonders related to perception?
I'm going to. We're going to look at the Way of Lightning on page 86.
Lightning, ciao.
So, I went with this one because I figured we should have something that's more super powery. The last one was, it was acrobatics. It's not super powery.
No, the last one we just did was the absence of power.
Right. I meant the last one that I did. I'm sorry. Yes. Yours is a superpower to remove superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. You are cancelled.
Exactly.
You are fired.
All right. Way of Lightning. So this actually, I do want to point out one thing on this one that I do think is kind of cool. You probably don't recognize it, but there is a character, Static Shock, that came out late 90s. It was one of the cartoons. but he's actually a DC character. And so I think that's why they threw this in here, because it was like they did the cartoon and everything for him. I think he is still kind of related to the Batman universe. So anyways, I thought that was kind of fun that they snuck this one in here. All right, resistance. The character reduces the damage dice of electricity by 5 points per level. They may also inflict 1d6 temporary damage dice as well as stunned to anyone whose skin comes in contact with a part of the character's body. So you can, rub your feet on the carpet and, zap them. Augmented, the damage dice inflicted by contact increase depending on the number of levels possessed in the way. 1 level, 1d8, 3 levels, 1d10, 5 levels, 1d12. These damage dice are no longer temporary. Let's see. Oh, here we are. High voltage. Any melee attack made with the character's natural weapons or one that conducts electricity benefit from a temporary damage dice bonus of 1d6 per level, and is successful, inflict stunned on the target. Augmented, the damage dice are no longer temporary. So like you run around with a metal stick. I'm going to hit you with the metal stick and zap. Lightning strike. The character may perform a special attack, range 60 feet. The damage dice for this special attack are 1d6 per level, to which is added their perception modifier. Augmented, the character's special attack benefits from a +1 bonus per level. Lightning. The character makes an area attack with a diameter equal to 3 feet per level, which inflicts 1d4 damage dice per level to the people within the zone. Augmented, the special attack inflicts stunned and 1d6 per level, to which is added the character's perception modifier.
I would just like to add that we can go full circle with the cars analogy to lightning, because Lightning McQueen tells is it Chick? Yeah, Chick, that lightning comes before thunder, right? And then the actor who played the voice of Chick was Michael Keaton, who was Batman. I'm just saying.
Nice 6 degrees of
Separation.
of Kevin Batman.
Yes.
But
this is how tired I am. I'm just pulling crap out of my butt.
There we go. All right. Final one, electric current. The character can transform their body mass into an electrical charge and move around in this form by following conductive materials at a speed of 60 miles per hour per level. In this form, they are completely immune to electricity damage dice. Augmented, the character moves along high-tension electrical lines at almost the speed of electricity, for example, 100,000 miles per second. So you can move super fast, but as lightning. That's actually really cool. That's a fun ability. I really like that one. Great superpower. I'm all for that. All right, what's the next one we're looking at, dear? Willpower.
Yeah, willpower. Let's see here.
Well, duplication, mental control, nature, storm, thought.
I will do nature, I think, since I'm a big fan of poison ivy. All right, listen to nature. The character's thoughts can be used to communicate with any plant they touch, allowing them to know what the plants have felt and what they've seen happen nearby. The character can identify each species of plant around them. APC, without needing a physical connection with natural elements, plants, rocks, earth, water, dust, animals, etc., the character can sense the feelings and memories they have of experienced events. One with nature. When the character moves through a natural environment, they are never hindered by vegetation. During a chase on foot in a natural environment with vegetation, their opponents are subject to a penalty of -2 per level. APC, each round of the chase, the distance is changed by 1 degree in favor of the character. Natural defense. The character calls on plants to help protect them, and if the combat takes place in an environment with vegetation, they benefit from a +2 bonus for def and DR of 1 point per level. No penalty for initiative for 1 round. APC, the bonus DF is equal to the character's willpower mod +2. The characters also obtain DR of 2 points per level. Vital Flex. The character taps into the life force of nature around them and can use this vital energy to heal themselves or someone else 5 HP per level, which cannot exceed their starting value. APC, once per day, the Vital Flux capacity allows the character to regain all their HP and instantly improve any detrimental state or temporary physical alteration, poison, sickness, etc. Friend of Nature, the character is able to control and use 1 plant per level situated near them for a duration equal to 1 round per level. Each large plant they control can make 1 melee attack per round with a bonus of 1 point per level. If successful, each melee attack inflicts 1d8 temporary DD or does not inflict DD but makes the opponent immobilized. To free themselves, the target has to perform a successful test of strength with a difficulty equal to the character's willpower score. The APC, the DD, and the duration of this capacity are increased by the character's willpower mod.
All right.
Plants.
So,
because plants have feelings.
all right, so that's it for the ways. Now, real quick, folks, we're not done yet. We're actually going to do the next 2 chapters. They're very small. We'll knock them out relatively quickly.
Now? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
But I know, but like I'd rather get this stuff finished and then we can pick up next week actually diving into the rules of the game. So, like I said, these will go quick, but I did want to take a minute. So overall, despite the fact that you're half asleep, what did you think of the Ways system?
Isn't it just character creation?
Well, the Ways as far as like the powers, like everything that we just read through today, did it make sense? Was there something?
There was a lot that didn't make sense because there was a lot of words and my brain's too tired to comprehend.
Okay.
But I mean, all of the different types of things are reminiscent of all the different characters that I've, seen in cartoon form or what have you as a kid. So I don't want to say nostalgia, but it's definitely stuff I'm familiar with because I have a brother and watch, Batman and other shows.
You have a husband and watch Batman.
Look, the brother came first. The husband just, acerbated the issue.
That's exacerbated.
Oh, that one. Acerbated is not a word.
No, but the question
I just acerbated myself by being an ass on the internet.
There we go. No, but my main question is more like, do they at least make sense? Does it make
only makes sense in the context is I can think of a character that relates to that skill.
That's what I'm going for. Does it?
Okay. That's what I was trying to say, but I used too many words and made up words along the way.
All right. Well, cool. So that's the thing. I like it too. I like how it does feel like powers. I like the Way of Wonders is a little too vague. I definitely need to read through it some more, I think, to understand exactly how it works, because like the whole leveling system. But like especially with the common ways and the ways of shadows, I like how there's that progression that just builds up that lets you feel like that power is improving. So overall, I really like the Ways system, and I think that was cool. So, all right. So the next 2 chapters, they're literally like 3 or 4 pages each with lots of pictures, lots of tables. So again, they're going to go quick. But I think this will also help understand a little bit about the ways that we were looking at just now. So we're looking at experience and progression of your characters, because when you're playing, it's never fun to be the same character the entire time. You want to gain levels, you want to get powers, you want to get all the extra stuff that comes from, beating up more bad guys.
Right.
Right? All right. Gaining experience. Characters gain experience after each adventure in the game. This evolution is shown through an increase in the character's experience level. As Batman RPG offers its characters plenty of freedom and a wide variety of adventures, we have chosen to simplify the system for gaining experience. This simplification has two goals: to avoid penalizing characters such as simple citizens whose progress may have been slowed by the modest tasks on offer, and give both players and the GM necessary scope for what they consider a success. The principle is as follows. To go up a level, a character must obtain as many achievements as their current level. 1 or 2 achievements are available for each character per game session. Characters with a low level of experience can progress rapidly, even in the span of just one scenario. However, more experienced characters will have to get through several adventures in order to acquire the necessary number of achievements. An achievement is a notable experience, something that the character had the opportunity to accomplish over the course of the scenario, not necessarily successfully, and not necessarily just in their life as a hero. It could also relate partly or entirely to their private life. Situations may involve the successes and setbacks that all of us face, things that make us wiser, improve our reflexes, our know-how, or our approach to life. The GM is free to award achievements as they see fit throughout the game, depending on the actions of the characters and during scenarios they have created themselves. Players may also be tempted to use their exploit points in order to accomplish a dramatic action, but this can only end in an achievement being awarded if the exploit has been successfully completed in a particularly intense or extreme situation. It does, however, allow players to slightly influence how their characters can gain experience. Here are a few examples of achievements that a character can obtain. So let's do this. Let's just go kind of like, you read one, I'll read one. We'll go down the list. So you go first.
No, why don't we just do this? Why don't you read first column, I read second column,
Oh,
and we'll alternate that way.
Okay.
Because that's going to take too much brain power. I don't want to have to I don't want to have to do that.
All right. Well, then tell us about the achievements.
All right, the examples. Major progress made in the scenario, either alone or accompanied, a resounding success or a spectacular failure, an important scene led by and heavily featuring the character, a turning point in the character's personal life or situation, a dramatic personal or collective event, a major confrontation, a traumatizing experience, an apocalyptic night, great victory gained over a sworn enemy, a Machiavellian plan foiled or concocted, a glorious or tragic feat that will go down in history, a stupefying exploit. There can be multiple achievements awarded for a particularly striking event or feat. Each character might obtain 2 or 3 at the end of an unforgettable scene. Similarly, in the line with the examples given above, a resounding victory against a sworn enemy or a dramatic personal event that is a turning point in their character's life can see them awarded 2 achievements for the same event. The only limit is that no more than 3 achievements can be obtained during one scene or one particular event. Aren't achievements awarded by the DM as well?
Correct. Yeah, the GM would be the one to award them.
Right.
By saying, "Oh yeah, this event counts for this, or you did this thing, so I'm going to give you an achievement point." But they're basically just saying, at most you're going to get like 2 or 3 in a session, as opposed to, like a whole lot. So, all right. Here, I'll just take page 93. The benefits of experience. Each time the character moves up a level, they receive 2 capacity points that the player can spend to buy levels and capacities in the ways they have chosen for themselves. Each time the character reaches an experience level with an even number, the character also gains a number of hit points determined by a roll of their hit points die, without the Constitution modifier added. Each time the character reaches an experience level with an odd number, the character gains a number of hit points equal to their constitution modifier. Okay, that's interesting that they're splitting them up, but okay. If it is below or equal to 0, the character neither loses nor gains hit points. Increases either their melee attack or ranged attack score by 1 point. Can acquire new common or superior way as long as the necessary prerequisites are met. Can acquire a new common way or a new way of shadows as long as the necessary prerequisites are met each time. Can acquire a new common way, a way of shadows, a new way of wonders, or one extra level in a way of wonders they already possess. Above level 10, the number of hit points gained by the character each time they reach a new level changes as follows. 1 hit point if their hit points die as a D6 or D8. 2 hit points if their hit points die as a D10 or D12. Okay, so that's actually really interesting because they don't want you to become like a hit point powerhouse. So even a level 15 or 20 character is only going to be getting a couple of points per level as opposed to 6 to 12, whatever it is. That's interesting.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, acquiring capacities in the ways possessed or recently acquired by the hero. Reminder, it costs 1 CP for capacities in levels 1 and 2 of the common ways initially in the character profile. It costs 2 CP for all the other levels, 3, 4, 5 of the common ways initially in the character profile. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, acquiring a level requires already having all the levels below it first. In addition, it is impossible to acquire a level higher than the character's experience level. For example, a level 3 character cannot acquire a level 4 in a way. Also, a character who possesses a Way of Wonders can spend 2 CP to buy one of the following: a new capacity, a level, and 2 additional characteristic points in the primary characteristic linked with the Way, and an augmented power capacity with an extra characteristic point. Limits to the number of ways possessed by a character. A character can purchase capacities of ways that do not belong to the initial ways of their character's profile, but the cost of level 1 and 2 capacities will be higher. A character cannot possess more than 7 different ways. They can possess as many ways as they wish of each type, as long as the total number of the ways is never more than 7. However, in order to respect the spirit of the comics, we advise you not to go beyond 2 or 3 different ways of shadows or wonders. These should also have a certain coherence, avoiding incongruous associations of powers, such as ways of the animal with ways of magnetism. Animal magnetism.
Hey, I see what they did there.
It's also it could go wrong anyways from Sunday. You may, however, decide because of this concept of the character or their past or the scenario, or that a seemingly odd combination is justified, and decide not to take into the account the limits we advise. The choice is yours. So, would you say Batman has animal magnetism?
I mean, Bruce Wayne does. I wouldn't say Batman does.
Well, it could just be his dollar signs talking.
Probably. That's also probably true.
Assessing ways of the shadows and ways of the wonders. Acquiring ways of the shadows and ways of the wonders is normally reserved for characters created in the shadows and wonders of Gotham City modes. If the scenario or story justifies it, you can allow a character created in the streets of Gotham mode to acquire a way of shadows or even a way of wonders. For example, a GCPD officer or a regular citizen can suddenly discover a desire to become a crime fighter or develop a superpower. The limitations given above are only aimed at keeping a certain coherence, but if you're free to do otherwise.
So I like that idea. Like I literally just had this concept come to me. Like you could start with common way characters, or Streets of Gotham, and move up to Way of Shadows. So everybody starts as regular characters, but then over time, let them, it's like, okay, so now you're level 5. Cool. Now you can access a Way of Shadows if you want and start evolving and developing characters that way. That could actually be a really fun campaign.
Well, in their advice, they're basically saying it's better to have less ways and be able to develop them into higher levels, if you will, than to have a bazillion of them.
Well, and that's one thing, like, especially with the
Or
common,
7.
well, especially with the common and the Ways of Shadows, because they build on each other. Absolutely, I agree with that. Because,
Well, and then
like,
some of them seem like similar anyway, so there's variances for sure, but there's ways to work around the ones that you there's ways to work around the ways that you're picking.
yeah,
Um
right. But
to
I
make
like,
them you.
yeah, I like how they did it though, where it's still there's you want to be building up to get that level 5 power, as opposed to like just a whole bunch of them with level 1. So I think that's one of the important parts about it, and part of the reason why they're advising, having, maxing out some of your ways as opposed to taking a whole bunch of
Well,
extras.
I mean, there's a common expression that makes sense. It's less is more, right? I mean,
True.
more is not always better.
More.
I mean, more is more. It's not always better.
Look, it's what's Ben Affleck.
It's Ben Affleck and a dude with pointy nipples.
That
That would be his pectoral nippies.
I mean, yes, that's
that's
awkward.
That's gross.
Right.
Poor guy.
Let's take a quick look at equipment and then we will end for the night, because most of this is going to be tables y'all see real quick. All right. So, whether legal or illegal, everything can be bought in Gotham City. This section contains the list of goods and services that heroes can procure for themselves as long as they are prepared to pay the price. The laws governing weapons in Gotham City allow everyone to own and carry any kind of weapon openly. Most are brought in supermarkets or specialized stores, and no permit is required. Only explosives and heavy weaponry have restricted access. All the objects below are described with their price in US dollars. If you see the abbreviation NA, the object cannot be bought in a general or specialized store. However, if requested by the player or justified by the situation, the hero can procure objects on the black market, sometimes after a few willpower tests. Naturally, the price will be much higher depending on how rare or difficult the item is to obtain. The exact price is for the GM to decide. Initial funds. When the hero is created, the player has a certain amount of funds. This sum represents the money immediately available for the character to spend without endangering their lifestyle, home, or financial equilibrium. Each month the hero lives through in the game allows them to pay their general expenses and accrue money, an amount 1/10 of those noted below, which are determined by their finances. So, anywhere from $5 to $50 million a month. There you go. There's no need to keep track of what the characters spend during a game session. The GM will assume that they are able to cover everyday costs. Characters' ability to make an exceptional purchase is up to the GM, depending on the capital they have. Of course, there are numerous ways to get money in Gotham City, some of them legal, some of them less so. Bank loans, betting, the stock market, and extortion are all fair game, and this is to be decided with the GM at the character's own risk. So you know what? I like that. It's like, yeah, you want to send Bruce Wayne to the Penguins casino. Go for it. Yes. 1000% yes. Do it.
Or I'm a homeless bum and I took a picture of you cheating on your wife, so extortion.
Absolutely. Oh my, this is Gotham City. That would 1000% be allowed. Great suggestion. All right, choosing equipment when creating a character. When a character is created, they have a standard wardrobe in line with their financial status and lifestyle. A uniform when appropriate, work clothes, leisure wear, sportswear, formal attire, etc. Combat suits for heroes, created in the shadows or wonders of Gotham City modes, etc. They also benefit from the standard equipment necessary for their daily life, provided by the organization that employs them if they have a job, to be decided with the GM. The character's lifestyle and belongings are determined by the level of their finances. If the player wishes to give their character other items not normally associated with their finances or job, they can spend all or part of the capital determined by their finances, referring to the prices indicated below. Obviously, these tables do not contain every single item available to purchase in the world, but you can easily get a general idea of prices by looking online. Weapons. Below, you will find the characteristics of numerous weapons, as human ingenuity knows no bounds in this area. These lists are not exhaustive, and we encourage you to use them as inspiration for whatever you want to use during your session. Note that batarangs and other beloved weapons of Gotham City's crime fighters and supervillains are to be found in the section about gadgets. All right, so this is where it's going to get into, like I said, just like a whole bunch of tables. So weapons for melee attacks, how much damage they do, which modifier they use. Same with weapons for ranged attacks. Actually, this I think is interesting. They have a minimum of strength for particular weapons, so that's cool. Actually, weapons for ranged attacks. I actually like this. Small short ranged weapon, small long range weapon, medium size very long range weapon. Actually, I like that. It just genericize everything, make it easy to list it. All right, we then have explosive weapons, protection, so heavy protective vest, helmet, armor, outfits, common consumer goods, home and daily life. Actually, okay, common consumer goods. That's fantastic. Computers, tablets, smartphone, glow sticks. You know, if you want to make
I'm wondering though, because like it seems like everybody and their dog has a smartphone, including homeless people. So I'm guessing like a homeless person who might have like $5 a day, maybe, or $5 or whatever. It would take them a while to get the smartphone to take the pictures that they can.
Well, but you could still make the argument. It's like, oh, you have like the super cheap, flip phone that was given out by the homeless shelter or something like that.
Or they found a digital camera and stole it. Or yeah, there we go. The homeless person stole a camera or a phone.
Right. That's always an option. But what I like about this is what I'm going to call this is kitchen table superheroes. Because like digital camera, portable GPS device, glow sticks, toolbox, climbing rope, watch, handcuffs, prepaid cell phone. Well, yeah, smartphone, prepaid cell phone, $50.
Oh yeah, there you go. As long as it has a camera on it, you're good to go for.
Yeah, exactly. So
extortion.
But yeah, so actually that's kind of how I would look at this particular chapter. It's what do you need to be the kitchen table superhero? So yeah, we're not going to read over everything. It's all pretty common stuff. But yeah, it's really good. What's up, Nerdy Ogre? All right. And no, yes and no. We're looking at the Batman Gotham City Chronicles role-playing game from Monolith. This is week 3. So today we talked about the ways, which are essentially like your feats or your superpowers. Last week we talked about character creation. And with what we just finished, that takes us through part 1, meaning in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks because, next Tuesday we will be in Ireland and unavailable for streaming. So in 2 weeks we will be back to start digging into the actual rules of the game. So, all right, what do you think of those last 2 sections before we head out?
Me?
Yeah.
Woo, gadgets and gizmos.
Did the advancement make sense?
I got who's it's and what's it galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I'm just saying. I'm a Disney princess.
You are. But no, but like, did the advancement make sense? Leveling up your characters?
Sure.
Okay.
It's more than just leveling up your characters, it's leveling up your skills, which is interesting.
Yeah, it especially because you need, like, in a game like this, you need to level up those abilities. You know,
Sure. And less is more.
Yes, less is more. That's what we learned from this. So, anyways, all right. I had a lot of fun. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Again, if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We had literally my largest stream ever. I think we maxed out at like 45 people watching. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. So honestly, everybody,
I don't get to see those numbers, so I have no idea.
You don't see it in the upper left corner of the StreamYard? No? Okay. Now, Nerdy Ogre, I'm not going to make everything members only. It'll stay live. You can go back and watch it. There's a whole playlist. You can watch everything we've done so far.
Sorry, I was so sleepy though.
We'll get better next time. But, again,
if you wanted me to be awake, you would have to do this at 6 o'clock in the morning after I've had my caffeine.
Yeah, not happening. Anyway, so folks, if you appreciate the show, hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here. But regardless, thank you so much for hanging out. Absolutely appreciate your time. And Peanut Gallery, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We'll talk to you